Hi y'all, welcome back to Grow Fit with Tammy. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to grow sprouts and tell you why you should start doing it right away. Growing green, healthy sprouts and topping my dishes with them throughout the week is a fairly new tool in my healthy toolbox, but it's been really effective at helping me to feel fit and fabulous as I approach 50. Before we begin though, remember to hit the subscribe button so that you can get my videos as they're released each Thursday. Hit the like button if you like what you see, and leave me any comments or questions if I can help you further, because I'd love to walk this journey with you to a healthy, flourishing life. Growing sprouts in a jar in your kitchen is super easy. It takes about 2 to 7 days depending on what seed you're growing, and just minutes a day. But first, here's why you should start adding sprouts to your diet. Cruciferous vegetables are more nutrient dense than most other vegetables. They're your dark leafy greens. Kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, bok choy, to name a few, and hopefully you like lots of them and add them in your diet throughout the week. But sprouting these vegetables at home and catching them when they're just little seedlings is a time where we can take hold of the nutrient-dense package just as it springs to life and start adding it into our own bodies for the nutritional benefits that it can give. In particular today, I want to talk to you about broccoli sprouts. So a head of broccoli is full of sulphoraphane, which has been tested and shown to help fight cancer, slow aging, aid with digestion, and for me, the reason I've introduced it to my diet, to help balance my hormones. I had some estrogen dominance going on, and believe me, I can tell when things are out of balance and not going well. So the sulphoraphane in sprouts versus broccoli is about 30 times greater. All right, now it's time for me to show you how it's done. To start with, sprouting seeds. Now, sprouting seeds aren't any different than seeds you buy in smaller packets, but when you're doing this process, you're going to want to buy them in greater bulk, and it's cheaper that way. Sprouts you buy in the store can be almost 20 times more cost than doing it at home. Yet another reason to give it a try. Here I have alfalfa seeds. So alfalfa sprouts have been known for years and years. We add them to our sandwiches and salads. I like those, and these are really quick to grow, take just 2 days. I have a sprouting mix here called Zesty Sprouting Mix. It has a nice strong flavor, clover, fenugreek, and radish seeds. But here's my staple, and I can tell when I don't get enough of it, broccoli seeds. We're going to do this one today together. So the night before, you're going to want to soak them. Depending on what size of jar will determine how many seeds you use and the size of your seed as well, because you need some space in there for it to grow. I'm using a quart mason jar, and I'm going to pour 2 tablespoons in for this size. I think the yield for this will be about 4 cups of sprouts. Measuring very slowly, it's not science here. And then to soak, I'm just going to add some filtered water. Cover it by 1 inch or 2, and then you can cover it and put it in a dark, warm place for the night. Here's the next step. The next morning, when you wake up and head to the kitchen for a drink of water or your morning cup of coffee, an easy thing to add to your routine is to give these a rinse. So if it was the first day and you've had them soaking in water, you're just going to tip out the water through a cheesecloth. You can see this one had no lid on it at the moment. I'm going to cover it with a rubber band and a cheesecloth. This one, on the other hand, is my sprouting jar that I ordered online, and it has a mesh lid at the top. This just makes it a lot easier to fill it with water without removing it and then dump the water out again. You can also DIY, use a mason lid and then make a mesh screen to filter out the water. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. Got my discard bowl, which would be the sink or basin. Now I'll add filtered water and give my sprouts a swish around. You want to start with a clean jar as well. I would assume with any cooking project, your jar would be nice and clean, but you don't want anything else to grow in there besides your sprouts. So here we go. Swish it around and tip. And then one more time. You can do this 2 or 3 times, especially if they're getting a little smelly. And roll it around in there. Wet. Make sure they're all thoroughly wet before you let them sit again for the day. Now you really want to get out as much water as you can at this point. So what I do is put them in a bowl with a cloth at the bottom to catch any drips of water at an angle. For day 1 through whenever they're mature, this is how you want them to sit. Cover it with a cloth. We're not ready to introduce light until the very last step to green up the leaves. So a dark, warm place in your kitchen. My sprouting jar came with a little cheat sheet. You can easily look this up online. It shows me, for the size jar I have, how many tablespoons of seeds I want. So it varies depending on what you're growing. And then it tells you how much the yield will be and how many daily rinses to be, which is generally 2, and the growing time, how many days it'll take, what length of sprout you're looking for before you start adding it to your foods. I'll be repeating this process morning and night until they're ready. And then after that final drain and I know they're ready, I have sprouts that are ready to eat. Here I have broccoli sprouts. They've sat in the sun for the last few hours or day, and once you get green tips on your leaves, you see that nice green color. It'll go from yellow that you saw in the jar before to green, then they're ready. Bursting with life and flavor. They can be eaten just like this. I like it just like that. Now, my husband has agreed to eat these because he thinks they're tasty as well, and especially once I told him all the good things they'll do for his body. He compared it to adding lettuce to a sandwich. One of his favorite meals that he knows how to cook are pot stickers or fried dumplings. Months and months ago had started adding shredded cabbage to the bottom of his bowl so that he could get a little fresh vegetable in there. But now we also top them with sprouts, and it adds just that lift and crunch to the dish, and it just makes it all the better. And when we don't have it, we miss it. Other dishes that I like to add my sprouts to: scrambled eggs in the morning, a poached egg, very good on there. You might have had it at a restaurant before. Stir fries, stews, try it on anything. It gives it a little bit lift. And don't forget green smoothies. Any juices you do in the morning, you can add sprouts to that as well, to take it up a notch and get all the health benefits offered through each type of seed. One other thing I'd like to mention is storing your sprouts. They keep a lot longer when you grow it at home. You've got those extra days that were stolen from you in shipping. What I do, a little trick of mine, is I don't use paper towels in my kitchen, but I have different types of cloth napkins for the dinner table and for using in the kitchen. This little white linen cloth, I just place them in there so it absorbs any excess moisture, and that lets them keep, instead of just a couple days, I can keep them for nearly a week. You'll know when they go off. They start to get mushy and rather smelly, but hopefully you'll have eaten them all up by then. Well, that's all for this video. Hopefully you have a good taste of how you can do this at home using any jar, whether you buy a mesh lid for sprouting or use a cheesecloth. Please let me know how it's going for you and if you have any further questions. Thanks for joining me today. See y'all next time. Bye. Hi y'all, welcome back to Grow Food with Tammy. Grow Food with Do I have any broccoli? Don't have broccoli. If you'd like to invest just a little bit of dollars, or if you'd like to invest, I make myself laugh.